I don't know about you, but with the cost of eggs being almost $7 for 12, I think it is important that we all have side hustles for 2025. So if you're interested in learning about 4 side hustles that you can do today for less than $100 to make you money, then come on, let's go. Let's get started. Like I mentioned, 2025 is starting off a little bit bumpy and everything is really expensive. One income is just simply not going to cut it anymore. We all need additional streams of income, not just specifically because of the economy, but because we should all have other ways that we can earn income, right? We shouldn't put all of our eggs in one basket because basically what it feels like is that we're all one job loss or one paycheck or one accident or one emergency away from being in a bad situation. So I really wanted to focus on creating additional streams of revenue in my own life. And I've also done a lot of research on additional hustles that I've done personally and hustles that I have not tried yet, but are really solid ideas that you can do with little to no money to get started. Now, the first thing I want to talk about is prompt engineering. Now, when I say prompt engineering, we all know AI is booming. It is currently valued about $221 million in annual revenue in AI. So, and it's growing and it's projected to be about $30 billion in by 2030. So that's a large amount of money that we could seize opportunities on. Now, I know we can all go download ChatGPT and other tools that we can use to start creating things that we need, but I think we're missing the mark on prompt engineering. I have been able to, for my clients and my small media agencies, be able to create specific prompt engineering that is specifically tailored to their needs. So when I mean prompt engineering, get comfortable with the client, understand what they need, and then develop an engineering prompt that's specifically catered for that particular business or freelancer or someone who's selling digital products. Understanding prompt engineering is huge and it is growing. And if you can master the art of prompt engineering, you can have a solid business. And some of these software tools that we use or AI tools that we use are roughly anywhere from 12 to, $20 a month in subscriptions. So by having this tool, you can start today and go out and talk to businesses and figuring out what they're doing and then offer them specific prompt engineers, specific prompts that they can use for their business. We'll talk about it further in other videos. I'm going to give a breakdown for each different niche and how you can actually go about doing it. But the first one is prompt engineering. It's very big, it is growing, and it makes a ton of money. And I think we should all look at developing our skills on the back end, not just from a user standpoint. So that's the first one. The second thing I wanted to talk about, which is a really growing market, we're talking about $20 billion worth of revenue right now, billion, okay, and growing. And we're projected to have about $35 billion by 2030 as well. And that is the audiobook market. If you have a soothing voice and or you enjoy reading books and you're interested in getting into the audiobook business, it is a huge marketplace. There's software sites such as, ACX, which is, I think it's part of Amazon. They own pieces of that, or it is their company. And they're looking for freelancers who are interested in reading books for authors and being their narrator for the books. And you can do that from the privacy of your own home. You will need some, quiet, you would need a good microphone. You would need a quiet space where you can actually read the book, but you can just go ahead and read a chapter, close that out as a file, then read chapter 2, close that out as a file. But it is a lucrative business and it's something you can do right at home and it costs you nothing to get started. So clear out your throat, start drinking that honey and get the reading because it is a lucrative hustle that is growing. We're looking for side hustles that are actually growing and that you can scale these long term. And these two are probably at the top of my list. I do them myself personally, and it's lucrative, trust and believe. The third one I wanted to talk about was digital products. Now, when I mean digital products, I know we all can design things using software like Canva, software like Adobe Express that has pre-filled templates that, a lot of people are using in a creative space. But there's a niche that a lot of people don't really know about. And I've been doing some research and looking at some data and numbers for greeting cards. Now, I know you're thinking like greeting cards, that's old school. No one does that anymore. But I have a way that you can make tons of money by creating greeting cards. You can also implement a little AI into this, but what you want to do is now this is where you might have to have a website and get some hosting, but you want to have people come to the site. You ask them specific questions about the person that they want to make a greeting card for. Now maybe their friend is humorous, they like pizza, and or they're they like race car, whatever they're interested in. Create the greeting card around these things, right? So maybe the website, just what are we doing the greeting card for? And you can go ahead and ask simple questions. What's their name? What are they into? What are their favorite colors? And what do you want the message to say? Is it humorous? Did they lose a family member? Did they just get married? Did they, whatever it is, you ask these very specific questions about the person, and then you generate the digital product on the behalf of the customer. Now, this is very tailored, and you can either give it to them and have them printed on a card stock, and it would cost you nothing to do the digital rendering, and then they can take it to one of their local places and do it. To do that, you would save a lot of money in cost and printing. So you would just have the cost of creating the website, asking the 5 or 6 specific questions, and then rendering that digital product on behalf of that customer. I have been doing this now for a few months, and I gotta tell you, it's a lot of fun. It is very lucrative. And I've been doing it just for, people that I know personally, but I've been starting to go a little bit deeper, and I probably will create my own website platform specifically just for customization on digital products, because it's just a growing business. And when we're sending things to our friends and family, it's always better that it's personal. It has a different kind of effect. So we've gone over AI prompt engineering. We went over audiobook voiceover narration. And then we also went over creating digital products on behalf of businesses. You could do that as well. Not just the greeting cards, but you can do digital products on behalf of organizations. Maybe they need marketing pamphlets, they need flyers, they're running a new campaign, and they need you to create the digital products for them. You can also freelance digital products with these tools as well. Then the last one, which we missed the mark on this, and I talk about seniors, right? And not even just specifically seniors, but people that are older. How many of you have an older family member who come from just a different era? It's not that they don't want to use their phone. That's not that they don't know how. It's just they didn't grow up in that era of using their phone that much, right? So I'm noticing that there is a multi-million-dollar industry with senior assistant services. Now, you can create a senior assistant services that is tech-based. Now, I don't know who's going to start this idea. I should be charging for this information because this is a big one. And but there's so much abundance. So I'm sharing because you can do this in your neighborhood, in your community. But what this is a senior driven approach to learning. So if someone is not really digitally savvy, you can create a program or one-on-one sessions that teach someone who's not really savvy in the computer on how to get up to times. That could be how to use their Facebook account, right? How to use their Instagram account, how to create a LinkedIn account. Maybe they're, retired and they want to you know, have software at home so they can speak to their family. They want to know how to use FaceTime. You can develop these tech savvy lines where if someone calls you, will have maybe you can connect to their computer. I found that a lot of my clients are looking to they're using other platform services where they can, with permission from the person, get into their computer and they can do screen sharing, Zoom sessions, and they can help guide the seniors with tech services because a lot of us don't know that tech and people that are older, there is a little insecurity surrounding the fact that they don't really feel connected to the digital age. And that's not a bad thing, but some of the younger people don't realize that they can have membership services or ad hocs for teaching elderly people or hosting classes at your local library for seniors who are looking to learn a new skill, and then you could teach them that. So these are 4 hustles that you can do tomorrow, and you can start with little to no money, and you can even do them from home and earn additional streams of income. Now, it's not going to be easy, of course. It's not like you just start a business. You also have to market it. You got to get it out there to people. But these are 4 lucrative business ideas for side hustles that you can scale, that are growing, and that you can take into your 2025 and create some additional streams of income. So, if this is something you're interested in, stay tuned, subscribe to my channel because I'm going to do a 4-part series that deep dives into how to set up these 4 hustles, what you're going to need, the tools you're going to need, and the things you will have to have in order to get started. So, stay tuned because we got a lot to cover, but we will do this in a 4-part series, deep diving into each of these hustles. So stay tuned and subscribe so we can learn together. Thanks.